The main G1000 unit is going to come in a box that looks like this, labeled number 4. The contents of this box, as are shown here, you'll have your G1000s with your bolster panel, your Perspective or Perspective Plus GCU, a power cable, and 2 video cables, one for the MFD and one for the PFD, a bolster USB cable, another USB cable to power the G1000s, along with a small baggie containing zip ties, zip tie mounts, and a strap for the cords. For this portion, I recommend grabbing an assistant to help with gently tilting the G1000s on the bolster panel side and having the assistant there to help hold it steady. I'll turn it slightly so that you can see as I plug in each cord. Take the video cable labeled MFD Video 3, plug that into the matching label in the back of the MFD, and the video cable labeled PFD Video 1, and matching that up with the label in the back of the PFD. We'll take the USB cable labeled NFS 1000 USB B5, take that B5 side and plug it into the back side of the MFD. Now we're going to take the power cord, find the Y splitter side. They're each going to be labeled PFD Power A and MFD Power B. Match the MFD Power B to the same labeled sticker on the back of the MFD. Same thing, match your PFD Power A to the PFD Power A sticker. Move the cords to the back and gently turn the G1000s back around and lay it back down in line with the front of the desk. At this point, we can take our right angle USB cable labeled bolster USB B7, and we're going to take that B7 side, plugging that into the side of the bolster panel. Here's a view of the back to show all of the cable connections. A closer look at the USB G1000 cable, the PFD video cable, MFD video cable, your power for the PFD, power for the MFD, and the bolster USB. Your GCU is going to have 2 ribbon cables that will connect to the ribbon cables coming out from underneath the MFD. Start with the lower GCU ribbon cable labeled as number 2, and follow that up by plugging in the GCU ribbon cable labeled number 1 on the top. Next, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. We'll set that off to the side. We're going to want to remove the 2 screws that will be in the back of the GCU panel. Just 2 small black screws, and we're going to take both of those and use them on the back side of the MFD to attach the GCU panel to the G1000s. Lift up the G1000s and position the bulk of those ribbon cables to be underneath or on the back side of the MFD. Align the GCU with those 2 holes and take your screwdriver, place the 2 screws in those holes from the back and tighten those up to attach the GCU to the G1000 frame. Make sure that the angle of the GCU matches up with the angle of the desk, and everything looks lined up and nothing is hanging off of the edge of the desk other than the GCU. Now that we've got the G1000 in place, you can go ahead and take the throttle, slide those 2 arms up underneath the GCU panel. Make sure that everything is lined up and feels seated. Depending on the height of the throttle feet, you may have to adjust those up or down. At this point, we're going to come to the back and clean up these cords a little bit. First off, we'll take the power cord, disconnect from the Y splitter so that we can run the bulky side through the hole in the desk to reconnect to the Y splitter. Continue this with the rest of these cords, running them through this hole in the desk. We're going to take one of our zip tie mounts, pull together all of the cords in the back to determine the placement for that zip tie mount. Peel off the backing and stick the mount to the desk. Take a zip tie, feed it through one of the holes in the zip tie mount, pull your cords together, and cinch those up with the zip tie for a much cleaner look. Lastly, we're going to take your yoke USB cable and feed that up through the first hole in the desk and down through the second, bringing all of your cords together. If your hardware comes with an iPad mount, it'll have these two main pieces plus the two screws. Take the two screws, diagonally line up the two holes in the mount with the two holes in the side of the PFD. With the Phillips head screwdriver, screw both of those in nice and tight. Line up these 4 pegs in the first piece with the 4 holes in the second piece. And press down, locking it into place. You can adjust the height with the clip in the back, sliding the bottom piece up or down, depending on the size of your iPad.